Good morning, my students. I am happy to be with you here today. I am Mr. الناصر جابر, expert teacher of mathematics. Today we are going to discuss about the first lesson of algebra in the first secondary. Now we are going to study the first lesson, which is quadratic equation. We are going to study solving quadratic equations. What is the quadratic equations? Quadratic equations means that an equation of second degree as ax power 2 plus bx plus c equals 0. Okay, now we have a, it cannot be equal 0, but it is a real number. A here belongs to R and doesn't equal to 0. Okay, B and C are also belongs to R, but they can equal 0 because doesn't affect to the equation. Now we are going to study about what is the meaning of the equation. We will go to a simple equation as x equals 0. It's very simple equation, but it is a very big meaning for it. Now x equals 0 means what? If we have here y-axis like that and x-axis like that, x equals 0 means each point here, so it is y-axis, so x equals 0 means y-axis. And we have another meaning for y equals 0. Y equals 0 or f of x equals 0 has a very important meaning also. And if we draw x-axis like that and y-axis like this, so y equals 0 or f of x equals 0 means each point here, so it is an x-axis. Now we are going to study a new equation, which is x plus 5 equals 12. What is the meaning of solving equations? If we find this number x, if we find this the value of x here, we will solve the equation. You are intelligent students, so it's very easy for you to find out that x equals 7. So 7 plus 5 equals 12. So the solution set in R means real number, equals 7. Okay, we are going now to discuss about another equation. X power 2 equals 4. If we have x power 2 equals 4, we will ask ourselves about the value of x power 2. What number power 2 equals 4? Yes, I am hearing you, excellent students. It is 2. 2 power 2 equals 4. And another one says that it's also negative 2. Yes, he is right. It is positive or negative 2. When we square it, it will be equals 4. This, what is the reason of when we have x power 2 equals 4, we put square root for the two sides and we put positive for negative. Why we put positive or negative for square root? That's because this number power 2 must be 4 and this number as negative 2 equals 4. So do not forget that when we have x power 2 equals a number, to find out x, we put x power 2 square root here and square root here, and don't forget to put positive or negative. We have another equation which is x power 2 minus 4 equals 0. X power 2 minus 4 equals 0. We can solve it by two methods. The first method, we can put x power 2 equals 4 like the last time and put square root for the two sides. Excellent, boy and girl. Someone told me that it is positive or negative, mister. Yes, you are excellent. X equals positive or negative 2. Yes, you are smart students. X equal positive or negative 2. When we find out the solution set in R, it will be 2 and negative 2, because 2 and negative 2 are real numbers. Okay, we have also another equation. If we have x power 2 plus x equals 0. If we have a equation like that, we can factorize. So the first method to solve quadratic equation is by factorizing. We can factorize it. Yes, I am hearing you are excellent students. We have x as a common factor and put equal 0. When we get x common factor because of x power 2 and x, we have a common factor from these two variables. X common factor, when we divide x power 2 by x, it will be x plus x divide x, what? Yes, some of you have a mistake. X divide x may be set 0. No, it's wrong. X divide x, like 5 divide 5 equals 1, like 2 divide 2 equals 1, 2, like 3 over 3 equals 1. So x divide x equals what? Equals 1. And we try to find solution set. We have two numbers, x and x plus 1. X equals 0 or x plus 1 equals 0, 2. So x here equals negative 1 because x multiplied by this bracket. And we have two numbers, their multiplication equals 0. So the first number could be 0 and second number, which is bracket, equals 0. So x plus 1 equals 0, and we solve the equation x equal negative 1. So solution set must be 0 and negative 1. Solution in R. Okay, we have another solution or another equation. Look at here to me. We have another equation as x power 2 minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. This is a quadratic equation. Okay, we try to solve it using factorization also. We will factorize x power 2 and factorize 6 also. We have two brackets here and their multiplication equals 0. We factorize x, it will be x and x. And we will try to factorize 6. In fact, 6 equals 2 over 2 times 3, or 6 equals 6 times 1. We have to choose one of them. So if we have plus here, means adding. So we search about two numbers from these two numbers. their sum equals 5. So we will choose 2 and 3. It will be easy, 2 multiplied by 3. And because of plus or positive, it resulted from multiplying negative by itself. Negative multiplied by negative equal positive. So I have chosen 6. It's 2 equals 3. 2 times 3. Their sum equals 5. And their product equals 6. And we write negative times negative because it's positive. It's okay, and we have solution set equal 2 and 3. Why 2 and 3? Because if we divide this page, we will put x minus 2 equals 0 and x minus 3 equals 0 also, because when a number multiply a number, it will be equal 0. Here x equals negative 2 transferred to the other side equals 2, and x here equals 3. So solution set will be 2 and 3, because 2 belongs to R and 3 belongs to R2. So the answer will be solution set equal 2 and 3. Okay, my dear students, we now try to find out another method to solve quadratic equations, as we have the same equation, x power 2 minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. We can predict what the solutions. You already have it. Now the solution is 3 and 2, but we will find another method to solve it. Do you know about formula? About quadratic formula. Quadratic formula, it's x equal fraction here, negative b, positive or negative, square root b power 2 minus 4ac over 2a. What is b and a? We have the formula of quadratic equation. Formula of it says that a x power 2 plus bx plus c equals 0. Okay, a is the coefficient of x power 2, so a here is 1. A equals 1. And b is the coefficient of x, so b here equals negative 5. And also c equals the absolute term or absolute number, which is equal 6. So we have a equals 1, b equals negative 5, c equals 6. Okay, we will put or substitute in this formula about x. X equals negative b. Negative b means that we have to converse negative, will be positive, because negative multiplied negative equal positive. So negative times negative 5 equals positive 5, plus or minus square root b power 2, which is 25, minus 4 multiplied by a, which is 1, multiplied by c, which is 6. All of them over 2a, 2 multiply a, which is 1. Try to calculate it. Use your calculator. You can use your scientific calculator, and you will find that its answer will be the same answer as the previous equation, because it is the same. Okay, let's solve another equation. If we have x power 2 plus 5x equals 0, we will use our formula. A equals what? Yes, a equals 1, because 1 is the coefficient of x power 2. What is b? b is the coefficient of x, so it will be 5. Where is c? Doesn't exist. That means that c equals 0. Okay, we will applicate the formula x equals negative b plus or minus square root b power 2 minus 4ac over 2a. Yes, I am hearing you. You said it with me. So x equals negative b means the opposite sign of b. It is negative 5 plus or minus square root b power 2. We can write 5 power 2 as you like, minus 4 multiplied a, which is 1, multiplied c, which is 0. Yes, over 2 multiplied a, which is 1. This term will be vanish because of 0. 4 times 1 times 0 equals 0. So the answer will be x equals negative 5 plus or minus 5 power 2 inside square root. Square root cancel power 2, so it's 5 over 2. Okay, so negative 5 plus or minus 5. We have here two values of x. The first value is x equals negative 5 plus 5. Negative 5 plus 5 over 2, of course, equals 0. And negative 5 minus 5 over 2 equals negative 10 over 2, means negative 5. So the solution set equals 0 and negative 5, because 0 and negative 5 are real numbers. Solution set equals 0 and negative 5. Okay, now we are going to try to solve another equation, which is x power 2 equals negative 5x plus 6. Okay, using formula also. Using formula, we have the formula needs a, b, and c, but this equation is not in its form or in its standard form. So try to make it in the standard form like that. Negative 5x, we convert it to the left side and we'll get 5x, and 6 also transfer it to be negative 6. So x power 2 plus 5x plus 6, this side will empty and equal 0. Okay, we are going to solve this equation using formula. This equation, if we find out a will be 1, b will be 5, c equals 6. The formula equals negative b, which is negative 5, plus or minus square root b power 2, 5 power 2, minus 4ec, 4 times 1 times 6, over 2a, 2 multiplied by 1. Okay, try to solve it. If you write it on your calculator, the answer will be at the time. But if you want to solve it mentally, try it. Negative 5 plus or minus 5 power 2 means 25, minus 4 times 6 equals 24 over 2. So x equals negative 5 plus or minus 25 minus 24 inside the square root equals 1. 1, its square root equals 1 also, over 2. So we have two numbers here for x. The first number will be negative 5 plus 1, means negative 4 over 2, means negative 2. And second number will be negative 5 minus 1, will be negative 6 over 2, which will be negative 3. So solution set will be negative 2 and negative 3. I'll give you now an equation, and I'll give you just 30 seconds to solve it. Okay? Try to solve this equation. X power 2 minus 9 equals 0. I'll give you just 30 seconds. Go. Okay, some of you find out this equation by getting negative 9 in the other side equals 9, and x power 2 equals 9. Put the square root like this. We have square root for the two sides. Put positive or negative here. So x equal positive or negative 3. Some of you solve it using factorization. Now we have difference two squares like this. X multiplied by x, when we factorize the x power 2, negative equals negative multiplied by positive. 9 equals 3 multiplied by 3. And we divide the page into two equal parts and find out that x minus 3 equals 0 and x equals 3, x plus 3 equals 0, and x equal negative 3. So solution also equal positive or negative 3. Some of you use formula x equal positive negative b plus or minus square root b power 2 minus 4ac over 2a, and we have a equals 1, we have b equals 0. Why 0? We have no x here, so its coefficient will be equal 0. So a equals 1, b equals 0, and c equal negative 9. Put a equal 1, b equal 0, c equal negative 9. Here you will get 3, positive or negative 3. So solution set will be positive 3 or negative 3. Okay, try to solve it graphically. Any equation has a meaning, has a graphical meaning, and as we said that x equals 0 means y-axis and y equals 0 means x-axis. So now we are going to try to solve a quadratic equation using graphically. Okay, we will solve x power 2 minus 16 equals 0 graphically, and the interval we take it will be x belongs to negative 6 and 6 closed interval. We can find out a table like this. X will be negative 6, negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on to 6. Y, which is the function. We have the function here. We write it equal this equation, x power 2 minus 16. When we put x equal negative 6, f of negative 6 equals negative 6 power 2 minus 16 equals 36 minus 16 equals 0 here and 2. It's 20. f of negative 5 equal negative 5 power 2 minus 16 equal 25 minus 16 equals 9. f of negative 4 equals negative 4 power 2 minus 16 equals 0. f of negative 3 equal negative 3 power 2 minus 16, which is negative 16 plus 9, okay, equals 7. f of negative 2 equals negative 2 power 2, which is 4, minus 16 equals 12. You will complete. Okay. Now we have to f of negative 2. f of negative 1 also will be negative 1 power 2 minus 16. It's negative 15. f of 0 equals 0 power 2, which is 0, minus 16 equal negative 16. f of 1 equals 1 power 2 minus 16 equal negative 15, and so on. We will try to draw this table. Look at this table. We have here the x numbers, which is 20, 9, yes, hello dear students. We are going to draw the graph now. We have a ruler. This is a set square. We can use it as a ruler. We will draw x-axis like this. This is x-axis. Yes. And we have also y-axis like this. Yes. And we have numbers, of course. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, and so on. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, and so on. And we will try to draw. We will find negative 1 and negative 15. If we have a point, this point, very big number has this point, we don't mind to ignore it. So we will ignore the number that big, but we will continue the smallest number. The solution will be negative 4 and 4. Yes, we have the 2 points, negative 4 and 4 here, and we will complete the equation, and the graph will be this figure. Okay, so solution set here will be negative 4 and 4. Why negative 4 and 4? Because the graph here passes through the negative 4, and here passes through 4 from the x-axis, which is mean when we substitute on the equation x power 2 minus 16 equals 0, about 4, it will be 4 power 2 minus 16, it will be 0. And if we substitute about negative 4 power 2 minus 16, it will be 0, 2. Okay, so solution set will be 4 and negative 4. The solutions here, it is the numbers that the graph here, the parabola, makes with the x-axis. Here the parabola intersects x-axis at negative 4 and intersects x-axis at 4. So solution will be 4 and negative 4. And if we try to find solution by another method, here we can use factorization or we can use formula. Look here, x power 2 minus 16 equals 0. We can factorize. X power 2 means x multiplied by x. Negative here means negative and positive, negative multiplied positive, or positive multiplied by negative. Okay, 16 means 4 multiplied by 4, all of them equal 0. That means that x minus 4 equals 0 and x plus 4 equals 0. So we transfer negative 4 here, x will be 4 and here x will be negative 4. So solution set in R equals 4 and negative 4. Okay, you can use formula also. I'll draw some graphs here and you try to deduce the solution. If we have y-axis like that and x-axis like that, we have here x and negative x, y and negative y. Okay, and we have the parabola here. Here is the number 2 and this is the number 6. What is the solution set? Yes, I am hearing you. Solution set equals 2 and 6. Why 2 and 6? Because parabola here cuts x-axis on x and 2. So solution set in R will be 2 and 6. Okay, we are going to another parabola. If we draw x-axis like that and y-axis, y and y dash, and the parabola take this figure as this. So where here the intersection point with x-axis, we have not intersection point, so solution set in this case equals phi, because parabola doesn't intersect x-axis at any point. If the parabola also drawn like that or like that or like that and doesn't intersect x-axis at any point, solution set will be phi. Phi means empty set. We have numbers that makes this equation equal 0. Algebraically, we will find out some quadratic equations that has not any solution in R. If we try to solve this equation, x power 2 plus 4 equals 0. Okay, we will put x power 2 here and transfer 4 to be negative 4, and we will try to find out the square root of the two sides. Yes, excellent students say positive for negative here, don't forget it. But we have a problem. Square root negative 4 doesn't belong to R. Even you write it inside the calculator, you will find calculator write math error. So square root negative 4 is not a real number. Okay, what's the solution? The solution is that we need another set of numbers. X here equals positive or negative 4 multiplied by negative 1. Mathematician said that we can put negative 1 by something else. We call it imaginary number. X here equal positive or negative square root 4 multiplied I power 2. I power 2 here means imaginary number. And by this way we can find x. X here equals positive or negative square root 4 I power 2. So x equals positive or negative 2, because square root of 4 equals 2, and I power 2, its square root equals I. So x equals positive or negative 2i. So solution set here equals 2i and negative 2i, but they are not in the real numbers. We are here in a set of numbers, we call it C. C means the complex numbers, the set of complex numbers. Let us talk about set of complex numbers. From primary stage and preparatory stage and secondary, we every year we study a new set of numbers. Natural numbers, integer numbers, rational numbers, irrational numbers, real numbers, up to now. But now in secondary school you have grown up and you have to study the new numbers, which is complex numbers. Let's go about numbers to remember that. If we have here natural numbers, which are 0, 1, 2 and so on, and we have another integer number. Integer numbers contains natural plus another numbers which are negative 1, negative 2, negative 3 and so on. And we have rational numbers. Q is the symbol of natural rational numbers. We have to study fractions and decimals like 0.5, negative 3 over 5, 2.8 and so on. And we will study more set of number, which is Q dash. Q dash means the set of irrational numbers. These irrational numbers will be pi, okay, will be square root 5 as example, will be cubic root 4 as example, and so on. Many of numbers. These numbers, all of them will be real number. But now in secondary school we will study the new set of numbers which contains already real numbers. We call it C as A plus BI. What is A plus BI? We are going to study the complex numbers and definition of it. Okay? Now we have complex numbers. Complex numbers contained from two numbers. One of them real and the other imaginary, like this. The definition of set of complex numbers will be A plus BI. Okay. A and B belongs to R. They are real numbers. And I power 2 equals negative 1. This is the definition of complex numbers. Okay. So when we write 2 plus 3i, it will be a complex number, belongs to capital C. If we have 2 minus 3i, it will be also a complex number which belongs to C. And notice that 2 plus 3i is a conjugate to the number 2 minus 3i. We will talk about conjugates. We have studied in preparatory 2 about conjugates. Conjugate numbers, the middle number, if has positive, will be negative, and if it negative, will be positive. Look here. If we have 5 plus 2i, then its conjugate will be 5 minus 2i. And 5 minus 2i, its conjugate will be 5 plus 2i. So these two numbers will be conjugates to each other. Okay? Someone asked me, is 5i a complex number? Yes, 5i belongs to C. In this case, the first real number will be 0. 0 plus 5i. It's possible. So 0 plus 5i or 5i belongs to C. And we will find other numbers in real numbers and complex numbers now. Look here. If we have 2 plus 3i belongs to C, and we have 2 only, isn't belongs to C? Yes, of course, because we have said that the set of complex numbers contains the set of real numbers. So any real number will be complex number, and the imaginary number here equals 0. It's no problem. We have 2 plus 0i means 2 plus 0 means 2, and 2 belongs to C, and 2 belongs to R, real number. Okay? Now we will solve quadratic equations which have no solution in real number, but it has a solution in complex numbers. Okay? If we try to solve the equation x power 2 plus 1 equals 0, x power 2 plus 1 equals 0, we try to find out the solution by transfer 1 in the other side will be negative 1, and x power 2 equal negative 1 if we put the square root of each two sides, and don't forget to put positive or negative. So x equals positive or negative what? Negative 1 times 1, which is negative 1 I power 2 times 1 means positive or negative I. So the solution set in C will be I and negative I. I and negative I are two complex numbers. Okay? We have large numbers in complex numbers, and the solution set of the quadratic equation, notice that each number will be the conjugate of the other. Look here. If we have x power 2 plus 16 equals 0 and try to solve it, x power 2 equals negative 16, and we have square root for the two sides. X power 2 equal square root positive or negative square root to negative 16. So the answer x equal positive or negative 4i. The solution set here equals 4i and negative 4i. You see that 4i is a conjugate of negative 4i and vice versa. Okay? Let's try to solve another solution, another equation. We have many equations here, and we will think about if he converts the question, if he give me the two roots or the two solutions, and he want me to find out the equation itself. look at me. We have here the two roots are 2 and 3. How can you find out the square root equation or the quadratic equation? Look at this. These are the two roots. We have 2 here and 3. So put x minus 2 and x minus 3 and you will get the quadratic equation easily. How? If you expand these two brackets now, x multiplied by x will be x power 2 and x multiplied by negative 3 will be negative 3x. Negative 2 multiplied by x equal negative 2x. Negative 2 multiplied by 3 equal positive 6. The result equals 0. Okay, we have x power 2 here. We have two like terms, negative 3x and negative 2x equals negative 5x plus 6 equals 0. So now we have the quadratic equation because we have the two roots. So if you have two roots, you can find out, you can get the quadratic equation. Another method, there is another method to find the equation if you have the two roots. If you have the two roots like 2 and 3, there is the two roots of the quadratic equation. Find the sum of the two roots. The sum will be 2 plus 3 equals 5. And find their product. Product equal 2 multiplied by 3 equals 6. And try to apply this formula. The formula will be x power 2 minus the sum of the two roots multiplied by x plus the product of the two roots equals 0. If we try to apply this formula, x will be x power 2 and minus the sum will be 5. So we have 5x plus the product of the two roots, which will be 6, so equals 0. I have the same equation. Remember, we have the equation by a method last time by x minus, put x minus the first root and x minus the second root, and we multiply them. The equation will be x power 2 minus 5x plus 6 equals 0, and this one also x power 2 minus 5x equals 0, but in another method. Let's talk about pi. Pi is very important. Okay, pi is very important number to us. It's an irrational number. Pi is not equal 22 over 7 or 3.14. Mathematician write it as pi approximately equal 22 over 7 or pi approximately equal 3.14, and the next time inshallah we will try to explain this why. Thank you, my dear students. I'm happy to meet you and discuss you with algebra first and second lessons. Thank you very much and goodbye.